Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door.
An inscription from the most well-known statue in the U.S. and around the world. The poem, The New Colossus by Emma Lazarus, rests upon the Statue of Liberty.
Welcome to Celebrate Michigan. I'm Matt Beiser.
And I'm Christy Derry, and today we are talking about immigration, the legal, the moral, and how it affects us all.
Well, he is a principal in the law firm of Garmo & Associates in Farmington Hills, Michigan, where he specializes in U.S. immigration law. He has previously chaired the Advocacy Legislation Committee for the Michigan chapter of American Immigration Lawyers Association and was a past chair of the Oakland County Bar Association Immigration Committee. Please welcome Steve Garmo.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on our show.
It's a pleasure.
It's nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Great
So
to have
how
you.
long have you been practicing law?
Since 1990, 20 years.
Okay.
And has it always been immigration law that you've specialized in?
Yes.
And
And-
what is, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. How did you get, what made you interested in immigration law?
As an immigrant myself, and I tried some other stuff in the beginning, did some criminal law. I did some personal injury for a few months, and I just didn't enjoy it. And I just wanted to do something I enjoy, and I believe that if you do something that you truly enjoy, that you'll really be good at it.
So what does your firm do exactly?
We do exclusively immigration law.
And what parts of immigration? I'm trying to think, is it just getting people to become citizens, or is it coming to the United States in general?
Everything. We do anything from investment visas. We do employment visas. We do family visas. We do fiancés. We do refugees. We do deportation. We do everything, every facet of immigration law, including diversity lottery.
So we always hear about the visas, this thing that everybody needs. What exactly is that?
Think about a visa as a ticket. You want to go into a movie theater, but you need a ticket to get in. So without the ticket, they're not going to let you in. So it's an admission mechanism that allows people to be able to go in or to come into the country.
So how does somebody get a visa?
Well, you've got two sets of standards. One is you've got people that are coming in from what we call visa waiver countries. These are primarily the European countries, Japan, and some other countries. These people do not need a visa because the requirement for the visa are waived. Of course, that includes also Canada and certain people in Mexico as well, which are covered under the North American Free Trade Agreement. Now, the other set of people do require a visa. That means they have to submit an application to the American Embassy or Consulate abroad. They have to attend an interview in most instances, and they have to go through an interview. And the U.S. government, of course, does security background checks on these people that are coming in before they're issued a visa. And if a consular officer believes that the person is coming here to visit or for whatever purpose that they're applying, they could be coming here to work, they could be coming here to visit, but they have to have the proper visa for the different applications.
That sounds so confusing. As an American, I know we get a passport and we go to another country.
To most countries.
Yeah, that's true. Most countries. There's a few that we don't go to, but how long does this process take for everyone else?
Well, it depends. It depends. For example, if you want to apply for a visa to come to the U.S. and you're a Canadian landed immigrant, not citizen, Canadian landed immigrant, and you don't come from the visa waiver countries, it's going to take you about 45 days to apply and to come in here. So you're looking at a couple of months in most instances. And there's cases where it's taken longer than that. For example, if somebody requires a security background check, of course, in most instances, that takes less than 30 days. Those cases could be months. It could be a student. It could be someone who is coming here to work. It could be a scientist.
Okay, and what's the difference between a permanent resident and a citizen?
Citizens are individuals who have been naturalized. There's two ways to naturalize. One is if you are a child under the age of 18 or under the age of 21 in certain circumstances, and one of or both of your parents are U.S. citizens. You can naturalize under the Citizenship Act and be naturalized without going through the oath ceremony, without submitting your application. The second part is to actually go through the process that we call naturalization. It's a process that every permanent resident has to go through. If you're married to a U.S. citizen, the process is 3 years. If you're not, the process is 5 years. This is the time that you have to wait from the time you get your green card to the time you submit your application for naturalization.
Now the green card, that's almost another ticket. What does that mean when you have a green card?
It means that you are a permanent resident of this country. You can work. You are permitted to travel. But once you commit a crime, then we're going to deport you. Certain crimes, of course.
So it's like a probationary period almost. They're watching you.
Yes.
So a speeding ticket or something like that.
Well,
how would
no,
that mark the record?
we're not talking about speeding tickets. All the multiple speeding tickets can reflect your moral character as someone that we as Americans may not want to associate with. You know, we've had a number of clients whose applications for citizenship were denied because they had lengthy traffic violations, or during the statutory period, which is the 5 years.
So like the traffic violations, are there a bunch of other red flags that they look for?
Absolutely.
What are some of those?
If you've got someone who failed to register for the Selective Service, they're going to more likely than not deny that individual. If you've got someone who's committed a crime during the 5 years before the application, more likely than not that person is not going to be eligible. And of course you've got crimes which subject the person to deportation. Domestic violence is one of them. Any type of a gun crime is a deportable offense. So you've got a lot of grounds for deportation that a person can actually get deported for.
So the idea of those is just to keep everything safe. We don't want dangerous people.
The whole idea is, look, you're coming into our country. We'd like for you to behave. And if you don't behave, we're going to kick you out. It's that simple.
All right.
All they have to do is behave.
Yeah, that's not too much to ask.
That's all we're asking.
Okay. Well, when we come back, we will talk more with Steve about immigration and the law.
Stay tuned.
I present to you Algebra 2, Foreign Languages, and finally, Biology. Who among you will step up to their challenge?
Me. Yeah, I'll do it. Me too.
Sign me up.
Take on the tough classes now. You need them to prepare for college.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere.
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sounds like you could use some Van Gogurt. It's fortified with arts-rich nutrients to improve your math and reading skills. Catch!
Van Gogurt. Thanks. So what's the deal with your ear?
Always with the ear, huh?
Feed your kids the arts. For 10 simple ways to learn how, visit AmericansForTheArts.org.
I wish I could go back. Back when I didn't need someone to do my hair. Back when I could still say my husband's name. Back when I could have called 911 but didn't. Back when I first felt the warning signs of a stroke but did nothing. I wish I could go back, but I can't.
With a stroke, time lost is brain lost. At the first warning signs, take action immediately.
Welcome back to Celebrate Michigan, and we are talking with Steve Garmo, who has published extensively, both in English and Arabic, various articles relating to U.S. immigration. So, tell us a little bit, let me back up. What's the difference between an illegal immigrant and a legal immigrant?
The difference is really an individual who is a legal resident is here on either a green card, here on a student visa, or here on some other valid non-immigrant visa, such as a visitor. An illegal alien or undocumented alien are individuals who, say somebody came here on a visitor visa, and after 6 months, of course, they overstayed their visa. That person is now an illegal alien. You've got a student who comes here on a student visa, and they fail to go to school. That person becomes an illegal alien. You've got a worker, comes here on a work visa, and they fail to work for the employer that brought him here. That individual now becomes an illegal alien. So that's and of course we're also referring to individuals who sneak through our borders to come in here to work in the farms. These individuals we refer as well to undocumented or illegal aliens.
Now, what happens when those people are found out?
Well, obviously they're placed in what we call removal proceedings. Now, there's two standards. If somebody's coming through an airport, there is an expedited process where the person is placed in the next airplane and shipped back to his or her home country. But if somebody makes the entry into the U.S. and they're found in the U.S., then that person have an opportunity to go before an immigration judge where they have some rights.
Okay, so if they've been here for a while, does that include, people who have outstayed their visas?
Yeah, so there's some forms of relief that are available in immigration court. For example, if somebody has immediate family members in the U.S., well, that individuals can apply for relief, which we call adjustment of status. If somebody has been here for a period of 10 or more years, there's a provision called cancellation of removal that someone can apply for. Or somebody can just ask the judge to allow them to return to his or her own country without having to be deported physically.
So if they don't have a visa and they decide they want to go back home and visit and then come back to the U.S., what's going to happen to them?
Well, if a person has overstayed their visa by 180 days, that person is subject to what we call 3-year bar. That means you can come back to the U.S. for a period of 3 whole years. Not only that, any visa that's in their passport is automatically canceled. They'd have to go back to the U.S. Embassy and reapply for the visa. If they've overstayed their visa by a period of 1 year or more, that person is now subject to the 10-year bar. That they can't come back to the U.S. for a period of 10 years without a waiver.
Okay. And how many illegal immigrants would you say are in the country at this time?
Well, according to various statistics, I've heard anywhere from 12 to 20 million people that are undocumented in this country.
And of all the immigrants, what percentage of them would you say are illegal, just to get an idea?
Well, again, illegal and undocumented are two words that are used. It really means the same thing. Mm-hmm. So when we're talking about 12 to 20 million people, we're talking about people that are here either because they came and overstayed their visa, mm-hmm. or they sneaked in through the border.
Yeah.
Now, there's a wall being built right now between Mexico and the U.S. What is your opinion on that?
Well, as an individual, I'm opposed to walls. It goes back to the Berlin Wall that we had to knock down. I am an individual who believes in open borders, open but secure borders, of course, not just, we open our borders and that's it. And I believe there's other ways than building a wall. I believe that neighbors can be better neighbors without a wall.
Mm-hmm. So with that in mind, what changes would you like to see made other than the wall that you mentioned?
Well, our country is a country of immigrants. Mm-hmm. We all come here, if not us, our forefathers come here from somewhere else, with the exception of the American Indians. So I personally believe in having a legal mechanism for people to be able to come to this country. However, when we close our borders, when we make it extremely difficult, if not impossible for many of the people to be able to immigrate to this country, then we're forcing people to go through the illegal means to do it. I personally am for any type of legal method that a person can come to this country, and there's many of them. Mm-hmm. But we need to reform our immigration laws. We need to make the process easier, simpler, for people to understand. Most people don't understand. And I think that's one of the reasons why many people, don't